Hi, Henny, how are you? It's Teknikolour, and today I thought that we could check out my latest speed build, this time for Little Simsy's birthday shell challenge. Let's check it out, shall we? So I don't know if I decided to make this a modern ranch sort of house when I was starting to work on it, or if it just sort of fell into place as I was working on the shell challenge. But for Little Simsy's birthday shell challenge, I decided to make a modern ranch, which I decided that a lot of the items from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, they sort of worked for this, and it made it look as if it was meant to be in this specific area of San Sequoia. I tend to build in San Sequoia a lot. I think it might be one of my favorite worlds. I also really like Brindleton Bay, and I would like to build there more, but I feel like I don't 100% have a footing on what the style is in that location. I guess it doesn't really matter. I know I've built a couple of times in Brindleton Bay, but I don't know. It something for this being San Sequoia was screaming to me. As I'm sure you can see behind me, my boyfriend and I, Cinnabon Andy, as y'all know him from my Twitch streams, we decided to decorate for Halloween and autumn in general a little bit early this year. I don't know. I always feel like we end up decorating for this season super late, and then I feel like it's not out for that long, because once Halloween is over, I mean, you can leave out like most of it, or you could just like turn around something that's a jack-o'-lantern, so now it's just magically a pumpkin. But I don't know. For me, I kind of feel like I never leave enough time to decorate for the whole season, even though a lot of our decorations are Halloween related. So it just feels like kind of like blah until you get to like Christmas time. And I love decorating for Christmas, so I have a ton of decorations. But Halloween is Andy's favorite holiday, so we always have a lot to decorate with too. And I feel like we didn't actually use everything this year, so I don't know if we're actually done decorating. We might still put stuff out, but I decorated. Also, if you are subscribed to me on Twitch, you now have access to our Halloween themed emotes, but I don't know. I love decorating. It's one of my favorite things to do. I also love going to Home Goods, so any chance that I have to decorate is something that I'm going to do. But anyway, using the Horse Ranch items in this build, the windows weirdly are like perfect for this build for a modern ranch. I mean, I know it's like Horse Ranch, it's like kind of in the title, but it just did not read Horse Ranch to me. It was more like that modern ranch style, which I don't even really like that much. Like, I don't know, that whole style is not really my vibe, but for some reason I was just inspired to do this, and I'm actually really happy with the way that it came out. Okay, I did it. I used the Parenthood cabinets. I know I use them in every single build, but they're just so good. I just love them. I feel like all the other cabinets don't really do anything for me, but for some reason, these work in almost every single build. So I'm just going to keep using them until I find something that I like better. But I don't know if you've seen, we're getting a new stuff pack. I forget what it's called. It's like Home Chef Hustle, I think it is, or something. But it looks like we're getting cabinets in that too. So maybe those will be something that I'll use too. But I do know that those are they looked more modern to me. I don't know. What do y'all think? I don't know. But I'm excited for new stuff. Okay, so here's the thing. I decided basically what was going to go in each and every single room of the first floor. And I knew this is perfect. I have everything set the way that I want for the most part. Like, some things changed here and there, but I knew that there was going to be a living room kind of in the back with a door to the deck. There was going to be the kitchen with a little dining space off the front door. And then on the other side, there was going to be an office maybe a primary bedroom if I felt like I had to have the space there, but I didn't really want it there. And a bathroom. And then I quickly realized, oh yeah, there's a second floor. Where the heck am I going to put the stairs? So it took me a while to figure out where to place those stairs. And then I realized, well, what if I just put them right in front of the door and try to make it look good? And I did, and I honestly think that it actually does look really good. I don't know if that's like a normal floor plan thing where the stairs would be in that space, but to me, it looked as if it fit perfectly, except for when you went upstairs. And then I realized how small the upstairs actually was. So then I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe, but I was too far gone. I already decided that I loved the layout of the first floor. I didn't want to change it. So I had to figure out a way to make the stairs work in that position and then also make 2 bedrooms, because I had already decided that I wanted a primary bedroom, but then I also wanted like a teens bedroom because I had this idea in my mind. I'm not going to play in this house. I doubt I'm going to play in this house. Maybe I will, but I feel like playing in shell builds are just hard to do in general. But I had decided that like I had backstories for my Sims already, and I don't have Sims for this. So I was getting into this build, but I decided like there was going to be a teen sim, there were going to be an artist, a painter, so there's a lot of art throughout the house. But I don't know, I just decided that's what I'm doing. You're not going to be able to change my mind, and I got to make these 2 bedrooms fit. And I feel like it's tight upstairs, but it seems normal. It seems like that's something that could realistically have happened. So I decided I'm going to keep it. The bedrooms are going to be on the smaller side, but I think that that's fine. And then I realized, well, now we have this cute little hallway to get to both rooms off the stairs. And the way that I decided to have it go towards the windows, so this way the window space would get used a bit more. There's like a little painting nook. There's some plants. I'm really proud of myself because I feel like I would have scrapped it previously. I feel like I wouldn't have really been as confident in my building and like where I was headed with it, and I would have just changed it. But this time I felt like I knew what I was doing. Like I had a plan in place, and I decided, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I think it all worked out in the end. I don't know exactly what my idea was for the office for this. I always knew that I wanted an office, and thinking about it now, if I got rid of the office, I could have made the office be upstairs, and I could have had a bigger primary bedroom downstairs, but whatever. I don't think I would change it now, but it's occurring to me now that I could have. But with the office, I think I had in mind that I was kind of decorating for the sim from my Around the World's Legacy Challenge. I actually wrote a Legacy Challenge with my boyfriend, and it's been really fun, but it's a way to like push me to use all of the packs that I have and to learn more about each and every individual pack. So my first generation, who sadly passed away recently, his whole generation was focused around parenthood, but living in San Sequoia. So kind of like that generational thing to like set us up for the whole legacy. And then his son, Harry, ended up going to college in Foxbury, in the Brightchester world from the Discover University pack. And we've been living with him, and he is now in a Brooklyn brownstone inspired build because I always loved that look. I'm from New York City, if you didn't know. And I built something for him and actually his twin brother. So you know the Oh, I forget the exact lot, but it's that middle 2 lots in Brightchester, like between the 2 universities and below the library, um, is like 2 different families. I think one is the Pleasant household. Those 2 are like twin buildings, so I decided to put the twins in those 2 buildings. So I gave them both beautiful brownstones, and Harry, who is our heir, he now has his own son, and his generation is going to be cottage living. So so I'm just like all over the place, but I wanted something that while I was building this office, I had this in mind that I was going to be building an office for him, because his job is like kind of like in like school, so like career wise he's like more education. So I was like, oh, this would work for him, I would have this here. And then I realized, like, as I was decorating it, I was like, this isn't for the sim, so whatever. But it all worked out. I think I had a plan in place and it was working out, you know. Also, I just want to apologize because I know I haven't uploaded anything in quite some time, and actually the last thing that I uploaded was my 3-year highlight video. And what that was, if you were looking at it and you're like, what the heck is this? So in addition to doing like speed builds and putting up other like let's plays or whatever here on my channel on YouTube, I'm also a Twitch streamer. So I stream basically every single day. I stream most days except for Sunday. And I've been streaming for 3 years. So I recently had my 3-year stream anniversary, and it was so much fun. So I ended up streaming for 12 hours straight and playing a bunch of games and having a bunch of fun with everyone in my chat. I was popping balloons, and then I had punishments in some of the balloons that I had around my chair. So then I would like pop the balloon, and then I would have to read what was inside because my boyfriend had like stuffed like slips of paper inside. So that I would open it, and then it would be like I would have to wear like a crazy hat or like a silly wig for like an hour or so. And then we were also playing funny games, and we unlocked a bunch of stuff. Actually, in a previous like celebratory stream like this, that's actually how we unlocked doing my legacy challenge. My air conditioner just made a really weird noise. But anyway, if you were wondering what that video was about, basically you can clip moments from like funny events happening on stream. So like if I'm playing a game and something crazy happens or something scares me, it's usually like a clippable moment. And all of those moments I usually will post on my social media, but I wanted to compile something that was from the last year. And we did that, and we watched it on stream, and it was really fun. Also, if you're interested in that and you want to go see it, it's my last uploaded video before this one. Also, if you're not following me on Twitch and you would like to, my username is basically the same as it is here, except it doesn't have the at the beginning. So it's just Teknikolour. So that's twitch.tv/Teknikolour. And I'll actually put that in the description down below in case you want to go check it out. But again, I stream basically every single day. Not all of it is The Sims. I usually do The Sims on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. And I don't know, it just feels like the right time to do The Sims for me. It just feels like really fun. So sometimes we'll be building, sometimes we'll be doing my legacy challenge. Well, most of the time we're doing my legacy challenge. But then I also play a bunch of other games. So if you're also interested in life sims, sometimes I've been doing Palia, sometimes I've been doing Disney Dreamlight Valley, sometimes we go ham and we do Disney Speedstorm, we do Dead by Daylight, so if you're into more scarier games or racing games. And we also have been playing through Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. And honestly, I'm having so much fun with it. It's a little bit scary sometimes, and I'm not like the type of gamer who I'm like, ooh, let's like run into battle immediately. I'm not that type of gamer. I'm usually like hiding from the monsters, and then usually the monsters find me and then I'm screaming. But this game has the depths, so there's this whole dark area. And ooh, girl, is it terrifying. It's a little bit too much. But anyway, if you're interested in watching my Sims content on my Twitch channel, again, I would really appreciate the follow. I'm usually live for about like 4 hours every day, but when we're playing The Sims, sometimes we end up going longer when I'm playing The Sims, but it's really fun because you get to be involved in a lot of the gameplay. So sometimes I'll be wondering, like, is this the right move? Like, should we be doing this like in the gameplay? Like, should we have this person be our potential partner? Like, should we go on a date with this person, or what should we do here? I don't know. But we also do a lot of building together. So I'll be building either in my legacy or maybe doing something else. Like, we've done shell builds on stream, and you can be a part of it. But also, I had the most fabulous idea, which I 100% ripped off from one of my friends from their streams. But don't worry, I did get permission to rip it off. But I ended up creating, as part of my streamiversary stream. So once it was actually like a donathon. So if people had donated a certain amount of money, this specific thing would be unlocked. And one of those things for individuals who donated a certain amount was that they could have a sim version of them live in my legacy save. So not a character that we would be playing with, or not a sim that we would be dealing with like all of the time, but it would be a sim that would exist in my legacy save. So to keep an eye on them, I have occasionally gone into them using a group from, I believe it is Get Together. You know how there's the clubs. And I actually built 2 apartments in San Myshuno. So all of those sims live together in San Myshuno in 2 different apartments, and I had like the best time making it and then showing it to my chat. So the people who saw it, who were in it, they saw it, and everyone thought it was just like the funniest thing ever, because like they're all gonna be like roommates with each other. Like, one is a vampire, one has like a creepy walk. Some of them are streamers too, so it's like really funny because like they have like streamer setups. I don't know. It's just really fun to like see people who are part of my community like now also like in my game, even though they're not controlling them or anything, and we're not controlling them. But it's fun to see their involvement. So actually, while we were streaming today, we were like going through neighborhood stories on our mailbox, and apparently the Sims in Honey Tower 2, which is the one of the 2 apartments that I named them that. That's a whole other story. But the Sims in Honey Tower 2 apparently adopted a dog. And then I was like, well, let's go visit. And the dog was in the hallway the entire time. And then I decided to make minestrone for everyone. So, and then I was like waking them all up, and I'm like, why is everyone going to bed? And then somebody in my chat whose apartment it actually was that I had made a sim for, he was like, Tech, you're making minestrone and waking us all up because it's 3 a.m. And I was there as my heir, Harry, and his son, who at that point I think was still a toddler. Or maybe had just become a toddler. I don't know. There's been a lot happening, and it's just been it's just been wild. The other day we actually had a get together with all of those cast sims where we went, I don't remember where this lot was, but we decided to go skiing. Not skiing. Why did I say skiing? We decided to go roller skating. And all of us, I think, had like very low fitness skill. So we were all just like falling on our butts the entire time. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. So that's basically the stuff that you're missing. That's basically the stuff that you're missing over on Twitch. So I highly recommend, if you like what you see here, you'll probably like what you see there. And honestly, it's a fun like get together for everyone, because we all get together at the beginning of streams and we'll do some pregame. So lately we've been doing connections, we've been doing Waffle, we've been doing Contexto, which all of these, if you don't know what I'm talking about, are all like word games, kind of like the Wordle variety. But I don't know, it's always been a lot of fun. I also have to say, while I was building this, I was listening to an audiobook, and usually I'll listen to music or I'll have a stream on while I'm building, but listening to an audiobook, and specifically the audiobook that I was listening to, I feel like it had a lot of say over what I was actually making in this. So it was nice to do that. To listen to an audiobook and just kind of like chill out and work in The Sims. And I have to say, it took me a very long time to figure out what exactly I wanted the exterior to look like, which is kind of why I waited until the end. And then it felt as if nothing was actually coming out the way I wanted it. And I wasn't sure like what sort of path I was going on. And then I ended up really deciding that was the look. And then I decided on the inside, we're going to be doing some decorations. We're going to be doing some final touches on the build, figuring out rugs, figuring out decor, and then we'll do the final touches, of course, which is the landscaping. And honestly, the landscaping took me forever. Again, I'm not like still super new to The Sims, but there's still things that I'm learning. A lot of people would say that they're going to bring their foundation back down and then they'll do the landscaping. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And they're like, trust me, it's easier. I just never understood. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try it here and we'll see if I can figure it out. Oh my God, bring your foundation back down. You can move your stairs or whatever so you don't lose them. And then go in and then put your landscaping down because, oh my God, it was a game changer. I was able to like scoot things close to the house without it clipping in, of course, and get it to do exactly what I wanted. Oh my God. And I would be struggling for the longest time trying to get this in other situations. But oh my gosh. Figuring it out here, I was like, huh. And also building, well, not really building, but decorating the teens room, like the artist. Can you believe that the reason why I did that was because I wanted that very Taylor Swift, very Lover album, that new ceiling paint that we have as part of the Horse Ranch pack. Like the sky, I believe it's in Horse Ranch. It might be base game, but I'm almost positive it's Horse Ranch. I was like, that's the ceiling paint that I want for this build. Like that's what we're going with. And I was very happy with it. And that kind of guided the whole room. So very happy with the way that came out. Also, before I had built this, I had been gifted Eco Lifestyle by somebody in my community. And oh my God. I am obsessed with the items in the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack. There are so many cute items. And I also recently found out that there's items that are, I guess, in debug, or if you're like in the career, if you're actually playing with that pack, you can unlock them by crafting them. But there's so many items in this pack that I'm just obsessed with. And I also found out that there is like a solar panel roof swatch. I don't know if that actually plays into the gameplay because I found out on today's stream that you can, I think, get money back by selling power if you have solar power on your roof. I don't know. But I liked having the solar panel roof swatch for this. I feel like it's not going to work in every single scenario, but for here, I thought it really looked good. I'm also planning on posting a bit more consistently because I know after my streamiversary, it was very difficult to get everything in a row for the streamiversary, so I kind of slacked a little bit on getting uploads. And then with the anniversary, I made that video and that kind of like wiped me out. And then I was like, I don't know if I have it in me to like put another video up. So this is unfortunately my very first video back. So I hope you enjoy it. But I kind of want to do more speed builds. I want to do more I don't know, because I feel like a lot of times I would just be posting a highlight from one of my other videos. So for instance, if we had like a really fun match in Dead by Daylight, I would post that. But I've been enjoying doing the speed builds. But a friend of mine just recently told me that it's worth looking into doing, oh gosh, what is it called? The stop motion builds. So that's the one where people are doing a build and then deleting it and recording that and then reversing the footage. And is that something y'all would be interested in? Because I don't know. That looks like it's gonna be very confusing to set up, but I think it would be fun. So maybe we'll do that one of these days. But I also have a few other speed builds that I have in me to upload. So you can look forward to those, but we'll also probably still be posting highlights and stuff like that from my Twitch streams. I also recently got a new monitor. It's this big monitor. Actually, if you can see back here, this is actually a TV and it's apparently the same size. And honestly, I got this monitor and I feel like it has caused so many problems with stream that things are like lagging. I don't know how to fix it. It's been a whole thing. But I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. I also know that I tend to use a lot of the same landscaping items all the time. Do y'all have favorite items that you use with landscaping? Is there anything that I'm missing out on that you think I should know about? I also decided with this I wanted to do like one of those like built-in flower beds that we've done before. So I don't know why I decided to do it on the ground further away and then move it back into position, but this is what I did. And I wanted to use those hostas from the Cats and Dogs pack because I found those in our last speed build when we were working on that. And I was like, ooh, I like this. I don't think it would work in every single build. And honestly, I wasn't sure if it was going to work in this build, but I had a very good time with it. So again, we're using those, I think it's delphinium. We're using hydrangeas, which is my favorite flower. And then I was just decorating in spots around the entire build, but I don't know. I never really know what I'm doing with landscaping. So if you have any tips or if you have any advice for landscaping, do let me know because I never really know what the heck I'm doing. Okay, can I be honest about something? Because I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring this up for YouTube because I know that I have people who are following on YouTube who have never come to my Twitch streams. But I felt weird not talking about it the more I thought about it. So another reason why I haven't really been posting as much on YouTube is because I had a pretty big health scare. And I actually, on a day that I was streaming The Sims, my chest started to hurt and I got really freaked out. And I couldn't figure out a logical reason why. And I started to panic. I was texting my boyfriend like while I was streaming and I was like, I don't know what's wrong, but I feel like something's wrong and my chest hurts. I don't really have an explanation why, and I don't know what to do. So I kind of just kept streaming and pretended like it wasn't an issue. And then it just felt like too much of an issue. So I said, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to go to urgent care. Thinking about it now, going to the hospital is probably what I should have done, but I went to urgent care and I went in and they found nothing wrong with me. And then off the cuff, I was just like, it's not a heart attack though, because it is chest pain. And they said, well, let's do an EKG. And they did the EKG and turned out that my heart rate was super irregular, beating super fast. My heart was very stressed. And I ended up having to go to the emergency room anyways. So we went to the emergency room. We were there doing all of these tests. And then they recommended that I go see a cardiologist, which I did. Cardiologist sent me for a whole bunch of tests. And once I got all of those done, and a lot of them were very scary and they were very intense. Once I got all of that done, I just recently had my follow-up with the cardiologist and very happy to say that I don't have a heart condition. And after everything, I was like, well, what was it? And my cardiologist said it was stress. So now I have to manage my stress levels and try to figure that all out. But I don't know. I kind of felt like I was like omitting this huge portion of my life for like the past like month or so from YouTube as to like kind of like why I haven't been uploading. But here we are. That is everything that's been going on with me, and I am healthy. I am doing well. Apparently just have anxiety. Who doesn't? And yeah, so I don't know. So we're putting the finishing touches on the build, and now I think is as good a time as any to jump into the game and see show you around a little bit, because I know that when it's like a speed build, there's a lot going on and it's going really fast, so you can't really see everything. So why don't we hop into the game and I can kind of show you around. So we are in the Anchorpoint Wharf area of San Sequoia, and this is the build. And I gotta tell you, this view, ooh, girl, it is very nice. I am very, very pleased with the spot that I chose, even though it does kind of feel like this whole area is a little empty. I'm not really sure like what this all is, but whatever. As you can see, we've got the backyard area. We have actually there's this whole spot is also area of the lot. I didn't know what to do with it, so I'm just coming clean. If you want to add to it, if you download this on the gallery, go crazy. I just wasn't sure what the heck to do. But I'm really happy with this. I love that you can like sit here on the porch and you could see the dining area and the kitchen. You come in right here. Here's your view. Of course, we've got the office here. I think it's very nice having those rooms at the front of the build. And then, of course, we've got the teens room, our little artist, and then we've got the little area in there. So coming in, you can see here is a little hallway as our entrance, which brings you into the little dining area and our kitchen, which honestly, I had the best time decorating this kitchen, and I kind of want to make something like this in a future build because I feel like this one came out really well. Of course, then we have our little living area with access to the deck outside. It's got a little fireplace over here. I don't know why I wanted to build this like hearth to it, but I did. We have like this built-in area around the television. Of course, we have the main bathroom down here and the office, which honestly, I think it looks really good. I'm really happy with this one because it just feels very home office to me. And then of course you go up these stairs and you are on the second floor. You got some art here. You've got the little artist space in the hallway. Of course, we have the teens bedroom. And of course, if you go into this mode, you can see there is that ceiling paint that I was telling you about. And then of course we have the primary bedroom. This is one of my favorite beds in the whole game. Honestly, growing together popped off because so many of the items in this are beautiful. And we just got not much over here. They're big readers, so they've got the Book Nook artwork. And then of course this is the primary bathroom. And yeah, that's basically the whole build. That's the speed build. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you would like to see more content like this, follow me and hit that notification bell, all those YouTube things, so you can catch more content. And if you want to see more like this over on Twitch as it's happening in real time, go follow me over at twitch.tv/Teknikolour. But I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.